Hello, you beautiful people. Welcome to the channel. It's Rad. And tonight, as you might see yourself, we're going to do the Pick a Pile live stream, which is giving you a lot of freedom and a choice how this reading is going to affect you. So for any of you who are tuning in for the first time, you can basically think of an issue that you do have, or not exactly an issue, but a situation that you do have, and you do want to see it how it does unfold in the future. And by focusing on the issue at hand, just see which deck from the thumbnail is attracting you the most, and that's going to be your deck. And I am going to do a reading for each deck, how that situation you do have is to unfold in a general matter. Hello, News Devon. Hello, Samuel. Welcome to the stream. So, general matter, that is the key. Bear in mind that this is, although pick a pile, it is a general reading. So, it may not reflect your situation to 100%. And if you do wish your personal situation to be interpreted by me through my tarot cards, you can go to my website, which link you are going to find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you're going to see a full list of my services and as well their pricing. And based on your budget and also your needs, you can go for whichever service suits you best. And other than that, if you do enjoy the show, you can support me by subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and liking the video, commenting as well. All of these actions are going to help me with the YouTube algorithm. And finally, if you do wish to support the stream financially, you can do so using Super Chat or a PayPal, which PayPal link you're also going to find in the description down below. And anyone who does so, you guys are going to have a reading at the end of the stream, personalized reading at the end of the stream, that is guaranteed. And so before we start, let me show you the 4 decks here on camera. So the first deck that you can choose from is that deck, which is Millennium Thought. Okay, that is Millennium Thought. If you happen to like it and you want to have it for yourself, that is how it looks like at the front. Okay, so it's Millennium Thought. The second deck that I'm using, that is Heaven and Earth Tarot. I haven't used it for a very long time, so the name of the deck kind of escaped me. That is how it looks like from behind, and if you happen to like it when I do the reading, this is the box of Heaven and Earth Tarot. Okay, so that was the second deck. Now the third deck this is how it looks like from behind. This is the Night Sun Tarot, and the box of the cards, if you want to have it for yourself, this is what you're looking for. Okay, and the final deck, which is my favorite, that is how it looks like from behind. Okay, and is called Illuminati, Tarot Illuminati, and that is the box, how the box looks like. Hello, Taco. Which deck did you choose, Taco? I'm a bit curious to know which deck have you chose for your reading. And yeah, like I said, anyone who support the stream and the channel through Super Chat, you guys are going to have a reading at the end of the stream. And all right, Taco, I am not going to say anything, but I am happy for you, mate. I am happy for you. Well, 2 weeks, that is quite fast. I thought that it's going to take a bit more. I mean, the reading showed that it's going to take a bit more, but I'm crossing my fingers for you to have it at your disposal. I'm happy for you, mate. Good job. All right, so for everyone who chose deck one, I'm shuffling now. And by the way, Yasmin, thank you for the 20 US dollars. Thank you, Yasmin. And as well, News Devon, thank you for the £5. Thank you. Let me put you girls into the list, and at the end of the stream, you are going to have personalized reading. Oh, wow. Oh, my God, Taco. Thank you for the $111.22, mate. Thank you, Taco. Wow. Let me put you into the list. By the way, Yasmin, News Devon, to be true to the spirit. Okay, Taco. Well, this isn't the deal, mate. I mean, I made you the reading, and yes, you promised that, but whether you come true or not with this, it makes no difference to me when it comes to my take on you and my relationship on you. You are supporting the stream for so long, almost unequivocally. So yeah, I mean, you have done more than enough already, mate. But thank you for the $111.22. I was about to say, News Devon, Yasmin, Taco as well. If you have a situation that you are currently thinking of, and you know, and you want to know how that situation is to carry on forward, just text it to me, okay, or put it here on in the chat. Thank you again, Taco. Jackie, welcome to the stream. All right, so again, for everyone who chose deck one, now the first card, it's Two of Pentacles. The second card, that will be the Star. The third card, that will be the Ten of Wands. And the final card, that is a Page of Pentacles. Okay, so those four cards. And there is a good and a bad news for you when it comes to these four cards. Okay, Taco. whenever you have the necessity of, mate. So your situation, for everyone who chose deck one, is about to take a sharp turn in within, let me give you a time frame here, guys. In the mid of April. So it's about to take a sharp turn in the mid of April. And the reason for that sharp turn that this situation, your situation is gonna take, it is because the current aims of it are gonna be impossible from there on moving forward. So what you and your party, or you strictly wanna kind of like accomplish, it's going to be possible no more. And therefore some updates are going to be required, and those updates are going to be exactly these sharp turns, or that sharp turnaround that your situation is going to undertake. So you may ask now, well, is this sharp turnaround is going to be for the better or for the worse? Well, according to the Ten of Wands, which is into the third position, that is strictly dependable on you. So this sharp term is going to be as neutral as possible. It's going to be neither good, neither bad, but it's going to carry up with it a lot of requirements and a lot of how can I put it into words, a criterias that you must fulfill and you must keep up with if you want to have a positive unfoldment to your situation. And I can understand that at the start, when this turnaround happens for your situation, you may be highly disappointed, because I would have been, okay, because something anyone who hopes for, it's no longer available. Everybody would have been disappointed. I would have been disappointed. Anyone. And this feeling of disappointment may overwhelm us, may overwhelm you, and not allow you to actually, can I put it into words? Get a grip on the situation immediately. Get a grip on these new criterias, on these new requirements, and therefore kind of lose a precious time. So what you can take of all that, it is that your situation as it stands will shapeshift dramatically, and what concepts are now valid and are set as a goals will be heavily outdated by the mid of April, and the new concepts that are going to nestle in are going to be the one that one needs to chase, one needs to follow. That is no different than right now your boss is expecting one thing from you in order to give you a raise, and by the mid of April it is completely different, that it comes with its own set of requirements and things that you need to keep up with. Okay, and whatever plans you're making right now to keep up with your work are going out of the window by the mid of April, because there is a new expectation from you. If you, however, are able to keep up with the new expectation, okay, which is going to be pretty demanding. I don't want to say hard, because these cards does not relay to hard things. They are more relaying to a demanding things. To give up a lot of your time, to give up a lot of your attention, and so on and so forth. And if you are able to keep up with that, at the end, what is going to manifest for you is a thing of immense worth. All right. So that could be a lucrative job. It could be a super valuable relationship, okay, or a friendship. And by the way, there is a very strict example here, or a very strict unfolding here in these cards, where a friendship no longer looks like a friendship anymore. Okay, if you are asking for a situation with a friend you have, that friendship up until the mid of April will look no longer like a friendship. It's gonna look like something much more than a friendship, and it's very likely that a real relationship to unfold from that friendship, although it may look impossible at this current stage, to become possible after that. So that is the way how the whole thing could unfold for you. Stephanie, thank you for the $6. Thank you, Stephanie. Let me put you into the list. And yes, I am going to certainly give you the forecast for your question. Let me just put it down. It's a really good question that you're giving here, Stephanie. Well, you can see them tackle at the thumbnail. Right, so that was for all of you from the first deck. And what can I suggest you and what can I advise you of doing by the look of those cards? Don't keep hopes, okay? Don't keep hopes for anything, and do not make any ossified plans. Like if this plan doesn't work out, it's kind of everything goes out of the window, okay? You should be very adaptable. You should be very agile, and also be ready to be overloaded with, again, requirements and things that you need to keep up with. But at the end, the reward that you're going to reap from all that is going to be super amazing, and at least according to these cards, is going to happen to a thing of immense worth for you. Okay, so that was for all that chose the first deck. Now going for the second deck, which is Heaven and Earth Tarot. Ask for a situation, News Devon. Ask for a situation, being the spirit of the of tonight's live stream. How a situation you are having is to unfold. Okay. King of Swords. I am Nightfall. I am doing pick a pile. 9 of Swords. 5 of Wands. 10 of Wands. Gosh, I have forgot how good of a deck that is. Now, beautiful it looks. Okay. So depending on your on the nature of your situation, because the King of Swords generally could stand for 2 things when it comes to a situation development. One of them is a professional help that one requires. And probably this is going to be should your situation relates to a health matters, okay? If you have in mind your health or health of a person that is close to you, King of Swords most definitely points to a professional opinion, professional help, someone that it is, you know, very knowledgeable into the field that you are asking about. Because the other development under the energy of the King of Swords, it is when one is a bit, well, many people call it selfish. I don't see it that way. It is a state where you keep around yourself only things that make sense to you and that are in your service, as you may be in service of them as well. And therefore, there is no actions or a time spent in vain. for a lack of better words here. So that is the approach that is going to take up. One of the two, let me see the time frame though. By the end of February next year, so you do have a lot of time for development, okay? And by that time, either you're gonna end up with the professional that can create a strategy, at least to resolve your problem and to resolve your situation, or you are to end up with an environment that you have set it up for yourself, that everything does make sense in it, all right? And in order for you to do so, you just have to be unafraid, for a lack of better expression. We do have the Nine of Swords card, which represents what holds you back, okay? And according to this card, what holds you back are some actions or words that you must say, or actions that you must do, which you are afraid of doing, afraid due to the consequences. And unfortunately, I am seeing that in my family as well, okay, my close family, I mean parents, where it's known that there is an issue and there are people that can help, okay, and they just are not going and seeing them. I'm talking about the medical doctors. It's like when I ask, why don't you go to a doctor? Oh, what is that the doctor gonna tell me? A diagnosis for one, you know. So I do understand it. I mean, people are afraid of what they might learn, but kind of like swimming in ignorance is not gonna, so you know, burying your head into the sand is not gonna resolve the issue at all. It's not gonna resolve the situation at all. So it doesn't matter where it is. You may be, I do apologize. Oh, you may be struggling financially, okay, or you may have a very bad thought. Then maybe it's time to visit the shrink, okay. If you have a financial problems, maybe it's time to visit a financial advisor, right? You may be swimming in debt as well. The same thing, visiting financial advisor could help you, or I don't see how, but many people does it and they are very, very happy with the results. I mean, I knew people that have done that and they end up being very happy with the results. Okay, your car may be making a very, very strange sounds, and being ignorant about it is not going to make those sounds go away. Maybe it's time to go and see a mechanic. But bottom line here is that whatever the situation that it is in front of you, a professional in that field can resolve it. You may have problems in your marriage, maybe a couples therapist is going to help. And being afraid of addressing the issue to a professional, it's making things far, far worse. Now, in the time span from now up until the mid of February next year, there are going to be a lot of chances that you can take in order to make that situation of going downhill, if that's the case, into making it a successful one. Many chances. So if you are afraid right now and you are petrified, you are ossified from that fear, you don't have to take the step right now, at least according to these cards. You have all the way up until the mid of February next year. But within that time span, you're going to have many chances to do it so. And at some of these chances, you just have to, I don't know, gnash your teeth, bite your tongue. It does depend, you know, what your culture is having as a parable in that particular case. We are saying gnashing up our teeth and gnashing up our teeth. And just, you know, do what is necessary at that particular point. And once you do so, once you end up in a state where you do have the strategy developed by the professional, or in a state where everything around you does make sense, meaning it's contributing for your well-being, there is going to be a lot from there on that it is going to be required and desired to be fulfilled, but it will be known. You will know a step by step, a plan, how to end up with an amazing reward, whether healed, whether improved, whether out of debt, all right, whether with a partner by your side, or whether in peace, okay, depending on what is your aim and what is your goal in this particular case. But all starts with a professional help that is going to develop a strategy for you how to manifest the goal of your situation. Okay, so that was for the second deck. And now the third one. Everyone who chose the third deck, now is time to pull your cards. The first one is 7 of Wands. Then is the High Priestess. After that, it is the Moon. And the final one, that is a Two of Cups. The time frame, mid of January next year. It's the mid of January next year. Just give me a second to have an inhale. Hello, Mattia. Have you chose the deck? All right. Deck 3. Again, the cards, 7 of Wands. It's a 7 of Wands, isn't it? Yeah, it is. 7 of Wands. Mattia, thank you for the 20. Let me put you into the list. And also your situation. Okay. You chose the deck. So for the third deck, according to these cards, your situation is of a gold mine. All right, meaning that many people want to be at your place or in your place, and Basically, in this time span from now up until the mid of January next year, you are to see a lot of competitors, a lot of competition, or people that are working surreptitiously, and that is very important to be acknowledged here, surreptitiously against you, meaning that they do want to undermine your development and your growth, let's put it that way. So, meaning that if you are asking for your marriage, there are men or women that wants to be at your place in your marriage, and they will do whatever they can in order to ruin your marriage and get at your place. You're asking your career, there are people that want your place in career, and therefore they're going to do whatever they can to undermine your place and take it at some point. Now, luckily for you, whatever you have asked about, it's something that you are destined in to be, right? So this isn't a thing, this isn't an object that you can be pushed away from, forcefully. This is a situation that the only way you lose is if you just walk away on your own. And that will be easy for you to do if you have the mindset that if it isn't meant to happen, it's not going to happen. And we can see that with the High Priestess that adopts this nature that if things are meant to be, they're just going to go forward without having any issue into them, and they're going to be completely normal. Well, not in your case, unfortunately, up until the mid of January next year. So this is a time frame, this is a time span that you need to be very active into developing that situation you are thinking of and fending it off a exterior influence, fending it off a exterior opinion, exterior infiltration, and also exterior actions as well. And let me give you an example. You may be asking for your marriage, that things are going relatively well, but say your parents are hating the person that you are with. They're hating your spouse, or their parents are hating you, and they're willing to do whatever they can in order to break that marriage. So that is a time frame up until the mid of January that you need to be very active into fending their attacks, into fending what they say, into fending away what they do, and so on and so forth. And you're going to have that chance more on one occasion, because with the Seven of Wands, if nothing else works for you guys, what is going to work for you, it is many people may call it luck. When you are in a Seven of Wands energy of development, you very often appear to be at the right place with the right people in the right circumstances. The window is very, very short, all right? An indomitable readiness for action is required once to just take advantage of the situation that arises. So you need to be constantly on a watch for these moments in time where you are in a perfect situation, and just do what it is needed to be done. Have that readiness to jump into action right there, right then. Now, what is going on for you, it is that the more the time progresses, the more you're going to have no doubts whatsoever that you are on the right track with your life, and that is going to put you in a more steadfast. So it's going to put you in a more steadfast state more and more, to a point where you will have no doubt whatsoever that that is something you need to, I can't really say fight for, but not give up from. And by the mid of January, you will be at a very pleasant state where there is going to be no exterior influence anymore that is going to affect. I mean, people may try, but they are not going to be able to affect your situation whatsoever, and thus you're going to have that situation or that development in a bubble that is going to go develop itself for the rest of your days in a very, very peaceful and a calm and lovely, not to forget, because we do have the Two of Cups, lovely manner. So it's a time of war, the last year of a time of war, and if you are able to fend all the attacks, you are going to be able to conquer and win over your enemy, you know, quote unquote, and after that you get to enjoy the spoils for the rest of your days. That is, if you choose not to abandon what you have consciously chosen previously, consciously chosen your spouse, your job, you know, your place in your social circle, and so on and so forth. So that was for deck 3. And now, for everyone who chose deck 4, I'm shuffling. Five of Wands. 10 of Swords. The Sun. 7 of Cups. Let's see the time frame. Mid of December. The time frame is from now up until the middle of December. Oh. The best way how I can describe it for you, chosen of the 4th pile, is metamorphosis. Your situation, and within that time frame up until the middle of December, is going to undergo a metamorphosis. Very different though from those that chose a deck 1, because there is a lot of changes there as well. Your changes though are going to be much more pronounced and much more sharper and significant than into the piles, than into the people of the pile of a deck 1. And while there it was a different subject, for you it's far, far more I can't really find the English word here. A state of awe that is going to take place, because within this time frame, by the look of those cards, if you aren't giving your final thing, what I mean, like final action, like a final answer, and so on and so forth, the whole situation that you are going through is going to be like being in a chiropractor, okay, where it's getting adjusted, and it's constantly shifting and changing, and it's sliding in here and there. And while you may see today that something is going awry, where you are seeing that something is just not going to be able to happen, tomorrow the situation shifts entirely, and now what was impossible today becomes possible tomorrow. And this is going to be the nature of it for the duration of the whole year. And that's why first is going to be very, very important to be patient with all of your situation. And just because today you see that someone isn't calling you, which they say that they would call, that doesn't mean that they're not going to call you tomorrow with a much better perspective for the future in mind. And that means that you should not give up under any circumstances of what you are chasing as a result and what you are chasing as a goal. Because I do apologize. Because with those adjustments, they're going to start adjusting your situation to be more and more aligned with your nature, to a point where it becomes natural for you to develop it further. And this is going to be a point where you are going to find yourself being super happy. And by the middle of December this year, for example, the promotion that was out of your reach will become within your reach. The person that you want to be with, but it is out of your reach, will become within your reach. Okay, so anything that was out of your reach and you have a desire for it will become within your reach. That is relating to the situation that you do have in mind when you pick up that deck. So if I have to classify your reading, choosers of the deck 4, it is that a seemingly a situation of a failure within the span of the next year will revolve and will transform and will metamorphosize into a outstanding success. Only thing you gotta do here is just follow its lead and do not give up. Oh, and one last thing that you need to be is opportunistic. All right, you just need to be able to, whenever the shift happens, you go along with it. Jasmine, thank you for the 20. I just did deck 4, and it seems that you are in a luck, because deck 4, I think the deck 4 was the best deck out there. I mean, the best development out there. So I hope that all of you chose deck 4. Thank you, Jasmine. You can give me a situation that you want to wish to know how it's to unfold. Thank you for the 20. Thank you. And I'm gonna take to the super chat in a minute. Let me get the decks in their boxes. Your relationship with a roommate. Okay. Well, it often isn't, Jasmine, but in my experience, it wanes, all right? I mean, whatever negative took place in between you two, it wanes in the future. That is if you do not feed it. But we're gonna check it in with some. Oh, and guys, I think I'm falling sick. It's not just only the sneezes. I feel my eyes heavy, which is at least, you know, I know my body, and for me that indicates something viral, a virus, a cold, a flu, something like that. And I wouldn't be surprised to be a flu, because it's getting quite warm. All right, first go, Jasmine. Yasmin, I'm sorry. Oh, it happens, Lisbon. Everybody might get sick once in a year. I already had my fair share, though. No, that was the last year when I had an angina or whatever it's called. You know, where your throat is inflamed. Angine. I don't know how you call it in English. Well, you are lucky, Jasmine. I also have a long strides without getting sick. But it happens. For example, I do have a chronic bronchitis, and actually it could be that, now that I think of, because it starts around March, April, okay, every year. It's just every year that bronchitis starts, and it lasts for a month, and then it goes away. Because now it's about time. All right, Jasmine. Yasmin. I'm sorry, not Jasmine, but Yasmin. Oh, Yasmin, those are cards that we have. And so your situation that we're going to take on unfolding either includes something like a traveling or something like an inheritance, and the situation is going to be that you are going to find yourself short on support, or a support is going to be pulled away, and this withdrawal of support is going to cause arguments. Okay, it's going to cause clashes. and you're gonna have a lot to do with it, because according to these cards, somewhere along the way, you will have something like a change of heart. For example, changing up a destination, having a different demands, and so on and so forth. So it does look like that the whole thing is going to shift position. The whole situation is going to shift position, and that is going to make you being without a support that you can make use of in the upcoming adventure, because we can classify that situation as an adventure. And this whole thing unfolds within the next couple of weeks. And while you may be in a situation where you will have to scramble to make it work, you will be able to make it work quite successfully, establishing that most likely business trip and making it work, making it possible. That is, for example, okay, business trip, and extracting the most out of it to a point where by the end of all this endeavor, by the end of all this development, you will ensure your future in it. For example, you will ensure your future in the development of that project. If this is a business trip, you will ensure your place and future as well in the will, for example, of your family, and so on and so forth. So this next couple of weeks are where you scramble to have it your way and to ensure that your way is going to be executed and is going to be a part of the cumulative way, how that situation is to unfold. But yeah, expecting that drop of support is something that is going to help you not being caught off guard and not lose time into scrambling, making things work just by yourself without that support, and ensuring your future in the deeds moving forward. So that is the situation that you will have to deal with in the next couple of weeks. You're welcome, Yasmin. Okay, next one. That will be Taco. Okay, those are cards, Taco. The situation is little gains over authority that you cannot avoid. All right. So that is something, authority, that you have to face no matter what. And the situation is about getting little gains, getting little advantages over that authority. So let's see how this is going to unfold. I don't know, Taco. Maybe so. All right, those are your cards. Two of Wands, Three of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, and Page of Wands. So, Taco, the people that you are in bed with, okay, in the whole enterprise, are not seeing things the way you do. So meaning that they do not see the future of that development the way that you are seeing the future of that development. But it does look like that your sight, at least according to these cards, it is the right sight. What I mean is that you are seeing the future much more clearly than the people that you are in bed with. Now, that just because they don't see the future like you do, that doesn't mean that they are going to cause any issues. It is just at some point you may end up having to explain yourself profusely. Right? That is something that I am throwing out there because at the end of the day, an account will be seeked from you. You know, you will be held accountable to how you are moving forward with your things. And you are moving forward with your things in one of the best way possible here with the Two of Wands. Now, Two of Wands shows, let me give you the time frame until when that energy is going to be in place. Hold on a second. By the end of the year, right? Just by the end of the year, the start of January next year. So by that point, you are going to be moving with your things almost the best way possible with the Two of Wands. That is when you are going to be having an amazing results with the resources that you are having on your disposal. Okay, but once those results are established, they can be expanded upon. All right. So that means that next this year that is going forward, and I'm sorry, mate, that I'm losing my thoughts here. I'm just starting to feel not very well at all. So that year that you are having in front of you will be very active year, and it's very impossible. And it is very important, not impossible. It is very important for you to be meticulous when it comes to your execution and your planning, and especially your preparation. And you have to think of everything that is out there and leave no stone unturned. You need to address every single minor detail that you are involved into with your situation. And by the end of this year, with the accomplishments, which are going to be super good accomplishments, you will have a lot more options available in front of you. I would like to say the world is going to be your oyster, and you can invest in literally anything, okay, that your mind can think of as an idea, okay, as a development, as an unfoldment. So I think that you're going to prove a lot of people wrong in the next few months with how you are managing your things, your money, your free time, and in generally how you are pushing forward with your situations. Okay, next. Mattia, how will situation with husband unfolds? You are, Mattia. Well, I am glad that you know that, because for me it's a bit confusing reading, but again, I am not in your shoes, and you're welcome, Taco. So, Mattia, how will the situation with my husband unfolds? I will do so. Well, I don't have one, but when the pharmacy opens, I am gonna go and have a look. You're welcome, Taco, and thank you for your generosity, mate. All right, Mattia, those are your cards. It's a quite of a mess. Okay. Now the problem here, Nine of Pentacles, which is into the second position, that points to a problem, and I don't know if that's you or your husband or maybe both of you, but Nine of Pentacles is indication that everybody is looking on a high horse to the other. All right. It's being proud, having an ego, and it is just is in a mindset that they are doing better than the other, and sometimes it's a mindset that they are carrying on their back, the whole thing, the whole relationship, the whole situation. So that is something that needs to change, and it can change. Let me give you a time frame here. Mid of September. The time frame for you is mid of September, from now to the mid of September. So what the cards are pointing, it is that there are going to be a lot of unpredictable events that are going to take place in between. I can't really say in between you two, but let's say within your marriage, that is going to put you both, you and your husband, being more and more dependable of one another. All right. And having that Tower card at the end, I do believe that at some point, either you or him or both of you are going to come up to realization that you will not going to do well at all without each other. Okay. And the reason why the Tower card here is a positive card, or it has a positive interpretation, it is because of the Seven of Cups, which is the environment and the nature of your relationship moving forward, which is a water card, and water extinguish fire, which is the element of the Tower. So the violent and the destructive nature of the Tower card is extinguished, having the prospect of what could be for you both into the future, and that you simply, are not going to be well at all without each other. So this is how the situation in between you and your husband is going to unfold into the next few weeks, realizing, how dependable he is from you and maybe you from him. But the first thing that needs to be addressed, it is that Nine of Pentacles, where people are, looking on each other from a high horse, if you know what I mean. There was an English word for it. I read it a few days ago in the book that I'm reading, but I just forgot the word. I'm gonna find it now. Hold on a second, because it's something that is gonna be of my use. It's hubris, okay? Looking each other with hubris. That was the word. It's not very often used, but that needs to stop. And what also is gonna help is making things as comfortable as possible in between you and your husband, and invoking a old nice memories in between you two. So that's what's gonna help. But one way or another, by the middle of September, an account is gonna be put onto how much worse the life is gonna be without being with each other. Okay, next. Jasmine. Relationship with a roommate. You're welcome, Mattia. Please, let me see the time frame. Mid of March, next couple of weeks, Jasmine. So these are the cards. Me, put my camera preview, so I'm sure that you are seeing them. So these are the cards: Page of Pentacles, the Empress, Queen of Pentacles, Three of Wands. Like I suspected, the situation is going to, the negative side of the situation is going to wane. In between you two, Page of Pentacles, it's a sign of friendship, right? The Page of Pentacles, it is the card of friendship when it comes to those kind of situations. So within the next couple of weeks, the friendship in between you two should be, according to these cards, restored. I can't really say in its full form, but to a significant extent. And two things that you need to do in order that to speed up and to happen as best as possible is, one, not to leave your roommate hanging. Probably they're gonna have a situation where they might need help. That is one thing. And the other, which is gonna come on its own accord when you do not leave your roommate hanging out there, is for both of you, not just for you, not just for them, but also for you, for both of you to see how much you can accomplish going forward together, probably with the rent, probably with the with the accommodations that comes with the rent. And the patterns that you had previously, which were on a good term, are going to be restored, at least according to these cards, or restored to a significant extent. That will allow you both to kind of like challenge each other to be a real friends one more time. But according to these cards here, Jasmine, it does look like that the situation in between you two should improve if that is what you want. And it does depend on you, like I said, not leave your friend out hanging, but take an active involvement in their predicaments, and that is going to get them closer and closer and more and more benign toward you. So it's just a matter of a few weeks. I don't know what you both talked about, but the damage that you may be afraid that it is taking place is not something permanent. You know, in my country, we are having that parable saying every miracle lasts for 3 days, okay? And after 3 days, everybody forgets about it. So, yeah, I mean, that is a thing you said, a thing they said, you had that conversation, and the effect of that conversation is just going to wane. You're welcome, Jasmine. Okay, next, news Devon. The development of love situation. All right, news Devon. Those are your cards here. The Hangman with the King of Swords. And so the development, it is the right person for you that is going to fit very, very well with you, is going to come on its own accord, but not before the middle of October. Not before the middle of October this year. I mean, you may end up having an attraction or making an attraction into someone toward you within that time frame. But the more you date them, the more you're going to see that they're just not the right fit. I mean, going forward with them in an intimate relationship just doesn't suit your needs. Let's put it that way. It suits some, but not to an extent that you're going to end up finding yourself being happy with the relationship. With the relationship, but worry not, News Devon, because you're not going to end up alone, all right? I mean, whatever relationship you had as a last one is not going to be the last one, like, for good. You are going to end up in an intimate relationship, and you are going to end up having a love life. It's just not going to be in the next couple of months, okay? But the right one, like I said, is going to find you on its own accord, and that however is not going to happen before the mid of October next year. I mean, they may find you by that time, but it's an intimacy in between you two is not going to shape before that time frame, because they may find you before that. I mean, you may stumble upon each other, but have a strictly, for example, a business relationship, and you haven't looked at each other in an intimate way. And after the middle of October, you know, you may start seeing each other more and more in an intimate way, and therefore that will end up being the start of your relationship. Why did you react like that, News Devon? You have it, you find it a long time by the middle of October? Are you finding it a long time? All right, next, Stephanie. Stephanie asks an outcome of starting a YouTube channel. Now, there is a one caveat here, Stephanie. I cannot give you the ultimate outcome because tarot does not look further than 1 year. They cannot give you a lifetime prediction, okay? So the way that you are moving right now when it comes to that YouTube channel defines the near future and the most likeliness of how the situation will unfold, and when there is going to be a transition into a new cycle. So we're going to see that cycle that you are in, and when is going to be the transition of your new cycle. So let's check it out. Thank you, Steph. It's your reading now. Well, News Devon, it's not a long time at all. I mean, I was single for 7 years. So it's not a long time at all. Like I said, I was single for 7 freaking years. All right, Steph, those are the cards, and in those cases, I feel kind of bad, right? I feel kind of bad because I am to tell you something that it's pretty much everyone is coming up to that conclusion, right? So Four of Pentacles with the Nine of Cups, it does shows that within the next year, okay, you are going to establish your channel as a brand, for what it seems. Is going to involve a lot of work, because the Nine of Cups, you know, people interpret it as a wish coming true and you're going to be super happy and so on and so forth, and that's true, right? But what interpreters doesn't say is that Nine of Cups guarantees you a wish fulfillment, but for a short term, unless you do not make maintenance, right? So that is a short-term happiness. Therefore, you are going to see a short-term growth in your YouTube channel. But if you want to transform it into a long-lasting one, therefore that growth is a long-lasting one, it will require a everyday maintenance, therefore everyday content, or at least a consistent content on a weekly basis. And doing so that for a 1 year, that will secure the weight that your channel is going to have and its monetary gains towards you. And by the look of it, you will have no problem making your living and even going beyond that with your YouTube channel. That is, again, if you put the work and the maintenance required behind it in order to grow it. Okay, so that is the outcome of your YouTube channel for the next year. I mean, it could be highly successful, but you have to take it as a job. And I mean, seriously, take it as a job. And that YouTube channel will become a brand, and also it will be more than enough of you making your living through it. All right, guys. So that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching, and as well, thank you so much for your generosity. I hope you enjoy that format of readings. For me, it's quite fun. I love it. Although I think that I haven't chose how can I put it into words, the format of the reading tonight properly. It was way too open. And it's something that, as you might know, I'm experimenting currently with that format. So that kind of an open question to the pick a pile, it doesn't work very well because there are too many permutations to it. So for the next one, which is going to be the next Thursday, I am gonna try to figure out the topic that is way more narrow, if I may put it that way. so it can work better with the pick a pile. And yeah, that's gonna do it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. For Sunday, what we're going to have, hold on a second to see what we're gonna have for Sunday. So we're looking at the 3rd to 9th. Mercury in Aries. We do have Mercury in Aries. Okay. So yeah, probably that's what I am going to do, Mercury in Aries, because we don't have anything else there. It's 3rd of March, Mercury in Aries. 6th of March, we do have a first quarter moon, but I'm not doing those things because in the moon transit, I'm basically giving you the whole waning or waxing moon cycle. So Mercury in Aries is going to be 3rd of the reading is going to be on the 2nd of March, but the event is 3rd of March. So yeah, that's how things are going to take place. Hello, Priestess Shakti. I'm going to be back around in Sunday, but you know, if you want to make a donation, I can wait for you for a couple of minutes and do you the reading. That's perfectly fine. So I'm going to wait for a couple of minutes to see if you are going to follow up on that. If not, I am going to be back on Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. So I'm going to wait for a couple of minutes here. Priestess Shakti, thank you for the 20. Thank you. Will the lawsuit you're having or you are planning to file gonna have a successful outcome? Let's have a look. Oh, that's all right. You'll have to sorry for the typos to me because I never typed correctly, right? Even on my native language, I am terrible when it comes to typing grammatically correct. So you need to worry not about that. All right, those are your cards, and let me think on them for a minute. Now, right off the back with that Nine of Pentacles, which is the lawsuit itself, there are money involved in it, isn't it, Priestess Shakti? Or something that is going to bring you to development, because that card points that this lawsuit is going to provide a lot of value for you and is going to propel you into development. It's going to be like a trampoline, like a rocket for you to set you sky high. So the decision to make it, at least according to these cards, flawless. Yeah. But that Emperor, Do you know what I think by the look of those cards? The other side will look to settle. Okay, the other side will look to settle, and that Emperor being into the second position, it kind of points that it points that at some point, if you want that lawsuit to be as successful as possible, or to have the outcome of the lawsuit as successful as possible, you have to cut off the leg in order to preserve the body. Therefore, I do believe having that Emperor there is that you are to be approached for settlement, under which you will have to make some concessions, or rather some compromises with your demands. And if you do so, what you are going to settle upon, according to these cards, is going to be more than enough to consider that lawsuit being super value, to bring a super big value to you and to your life. Not to mention that from the result of it, which is the, you know, the monetary gains or whatever you are looking out of it, will allow you to start something personal. Okay, something that probably a business, or to buy something, you know, but it will be a personally yours that is going to come as a resource from the settlement that you are going to be sought after to sign on, and that will happen by the mid of September this year, right? So strong negotiations are to be required on your behalf, and willingness to make concessions with your demands when it comes to that lawsuit. And because this comes through the Emperor, probably your lawyers are going to try to convince you not to, like they are going to be fully convinced that they are going to win you the full thing from the trial, but I am not so sure. Looking at those cards, I'm not a lawyer. Here is the disclaimer: I'm not a lawyer. I am tarot reader. But if you go along with your original rigid plan, what I mean is that you have that set as a penalty that you want to take on, and you are following a strict set of rules, things are not going to turn out as well as you may think by the end. I mean, you are going to win it, but not as good as if you were to settle. Okay, so that is how the cards are interpreted here for you. And that's now going to do it for tonight, guys. Now, thank you again so much for watching. I am going to have to take a rest now, and you take care. Hopefully, you're not going to fall ill like ever, like I am right now. Oh my God, my head is pounding currently. You're welcome, Priestess Shakti. And yeah, we're going to see each other hopefully at Sunday. That is if I am not bedridden. And yeah, you take care now. And see you in a couple of days. Bye.